Good afternoon, good evening, uh, wherever you are in these United States of America or in the world. Thank you for joining the LGBTQ plus college tour conversation. We will be having some great dialogue with some great LGBT Greek letter organizations. Excuse me. So I hope that you have time to sit down and chat with us. Please remember any questions you have to please comment them below, and we'll be sure to address any questions or concerns you may have. And we'll get right into it. This evening, we have the ladies of Kappa Alpha Lambda Sorority Incorporated.
Hello, how y'all doing tonight? My name is Miss Shayna Jones. I am a beautiful lady of Kappa Alpha Lambda Sorority Incorporated. We was founded in October 19, 2003 at Clark Atlanta University, and we are lovely ladies that love to see all the beautiful ladies, feminine ladies, and see what y'all structure is and come to community service and just being classy like we are.
Thank you. Now we'll
You
have
welcome.
a representative from Alpha Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Cameron, there we go. And that is actually a member of Alpha Omega Kappa Fraternity Incorporated.
Thank you. My name is EC Pizarro III. I am the National Executive Director as well as the National Webmaster for Alpha Omega Kappa Fraternity Incorporated. We were founded June 18th, 2012. We just celebrated 9 years. Um, and we are for men of trans experience, regardless of where you are in your transition. We're about brotherhood, scholarship, leadership, honor, and education. Thank you, Beta Phi Omega, for having us.
Thank you for joining us. We also have a member from Delta Phi Upsilon Fraternity Incorporated.
Greetings. My name is Timothy Dorsey. I serve as the Northern Regional Director for Delta Phi Upsilon. We were founded on January 16, 1985, on the campus of Florida State University. We are the first LGBT organization for gay, sexual, and progressive men of color, and I am happy to be here on this great college.
Thank you so much. We also have a member of our BRA organization, Omicron Psi Omega Incorporated. You're muted, bruh.
Apologies. Good evening, all. My name is Jennifer Smith, she, her pronouns. I am the current National Secretary and Acting Treasurer of Omicron Psi Omega Incorporated, which was founded in 2000, April 21st, 2000, in beautiful Tallahassee, Florida. We are an organization for masculine of center women individuals. We were founded by 9 women of color, and we are so proud and happy to be involved in the LGBT Greek tour. This is a much needed experience.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us today. I believe we have a member from Alpha Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Greetings. My name is Tammy Lunan, and I currently hold no office, but I'm a member of Alpha Psi Kappa Fraternity Incorporated. I've served as the past National Executive Director, but currently just enjoying my membership. We were founded February 20th, 2002 in Tallahassee, Florida. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And please forgive me for saying your name incorrectly. It was charges in my head and not my heart. And of course, last but not least, this organization, I would be remiss not to acknowledge. I am a proud member and I have been for 8 years of this organization. But we would love to bring in our representative from the Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Perfect. All right, so my name is Nyla Mitchell. I am the National Media and Publications Director for Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated. We were founded June 27, 2000 in Tallahassee, Florida, and this Sunday we will be celebrating 21 years of our founding. So happy Founders Week, Soror.
Happy Founders Week. So, as you all know, this is Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated's Founders Week, and we are going to have this conversation of what it means to be Black, queer, and Greek. Is that a representative from Nu Phi Beta? I mean, Nu Phi, New, Lord, I cannot get it together today. Nu Phi Zeta. I'm so sorry, Nu
Yes.
Phi Zeta. Nu Phi Zeta Fraternity Incorporated. You can introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Jamari Montgomery. I serve as the Southeastern Regional Parliamentarian for Nu Phi Zeta Fraternity Incorporated. We were founded on May 3rd, 2009, with the structure of finding purpose and brotherhood in service to our community. We thank you guys for accepting us in on this college tour, and thank you, Beta Omega.
No problem. And I'm unsure of the other individual. You want to introduce yourself? You can.
Hello. I guess I'll switch that with my frat brother. My name is Vernon Young. I'm a member of Delta Phi Upsilon Fraternity Incorporated. I crossed fall of 2009, so a very long time ago.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, I want everyone to know this is just a conversation. So please chime in and just answer the question freely. So we have one person already acknowledged, but let us know when you crossed. We can,
Kappa Atlanta Cross, September 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia.
okay, you crossed in 2017. Awesome. How about you, Cameron?
I crossed spring, April 2017 in Dallas, Texas.
All right. My lovely Sorrel.
Yes, I crossed April 2010 in Tallahassee, Florida, as a part of the Alpha Omega chapter, which is our founding chapter.
Bruh.
I crossed on September the 3rd, 2017 in St. Petersburg, Florida. Alpha Alpha chapter, Game of Thrones line.
I'm on Game of Thrones line. Come on, everybody, just chime in. When did you cross?
I crossed October 2017 in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah. I crossed July 9th, 2005 in Chicago, Illinois.
Awesome. And what made you want to join your organization?
Well, I know for me in particular, being a part of something that was bigger than myself was the biggest thing. And looking into Nu Phi Zeta Fraternity Incorporated and seeing that they wanted men of purpose and helping men find their fullest potential. To me, that was the biggest thing. Oftentimes, the struggle between those of us who are LGBTQ plus, realizing that we are bigger than just being LGBTQ, or realizing that we actually have the capacity to do more. That was something that Nu Phi Zeta promoted, and that was something that, to me, I felt like it helped me realize my fullest potential. So pledging that was the best accomplishment that I feel like I could have personally made in my personal life.
Okay.
For me, I say the same thing every time, and I promise it's not as rehearsed as it sounds. It's just the honest truth. I come from a big family, so I have a collective like 10 sisters. Um, so for me, it wasn't just about looking for sisterhood because I had sisters, so I had sisterhood. Beta is something that I chose for myself. It was an opportunity for me to choose my tribe, and to surround myself with people that I could learn from and with and grow from and grow with. And so for me, it wasn't really a choice. I did my research as we encourage people to do, and this was just the best possible fit for me. So here I am, still here. Some 11 years later.
Absolutely.
For me, I chose Alpha Omega Kappa Fraternity Incorporated because a lot of organizations did not allow transgender men into their organizations. If they did, there were a lot of horror stories of them not being safe, accepted, and
Mm.
things like that. So, for me, an organization that is for my people, that really stuck out to me, as also with them being a part of a larger organization, Tau Kappa Phi, that includes Alpha Psi Kappa Fraternity Incorporated, Phi Nu Kappa Sorority Kappa Incorporated, Kappa Psi Kappa, and Kappa Iota Sigma. we encompass as a family the entire LGBT community. So for me, that was one of the largest selling points, as well as the brotherhood and seeing other trans men that are doing things other than just transitioning. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times trans people feel as though, and people in the community feel as though that trans people are just their transition, and to be a part of something that is larger than just my transition and about giving back and about community and about brotherhood and mentorship and scholarship. That's why I chose Alpha Omega Kappa Fraternity Incorporated.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think when I crossed back in 2005, there weren't a lot of spaces that were affirming spaces for like masculine and centered women, and I think that was something that drew me to Alpha Psi Kappa. It was a space where I could commune with like-minded individuals, feel affirmed in my identity, and also be impactful in the community.
Awesome.
So
Does
when
anybody,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. I was gonna ask if anyone else want to answer. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. So when I crossed back in spring of 2017, I basically wanted to one challenge myself, and being part of an organization. I have lupus, so I had medical challenge, but I also wanted to bring um, the difference to show the diversity. And Kappa Alpha Lambda Sorority Incorporated, they showed diversity when I did my research. They had other sisters that was had challenge like me, but we also was classy. We also was doing community service, and we also was leaders in our community. And so I felt wonderful for one to be accepted and to go through the whole process and not be nervous and look different because of the challenge I have in my
Yeah.
own world, but also to be a proud lesbian and to be part of an organization that we can be out here and show other lesbians that is other organizations out here that you could be part of. And I love that we encourage people to do research because it's wonderful organizations out here, especially for the lesbians. It's great organization. I'm way in St. Louis, and so I have challenged my whole energy to a whole Midwest and not down south. But the ladies around here, they get to see more than just one organization. So Kappa gave me that platform. Kappa gave me that platform where I could still serve my community, but I also could put on my shirt diversity and show them that we do more than one thing.
Absolutely. Does anybody else want to answer before we move on to the next question? Okay, awesome. So we know that if it had not been for the Divine Nine organizations, right, we would not be where we are today. So tell me, why did you choose your organization in lieu of or instead of um, a Divine Nine organization?
I'll go first since I didn't answer the last question. Of course, I did have my mindset on joining the D9. Going to HBCU, that's kind of the first thing that you see. Um, being well, actually trying to get into the organization, I just felt as if I'm working too hard to be someone that I'm not. So when finding Delta Phi Upsilon and noticing the bond that my profiles had, it just caught my attention. Like, I don't have to try to be something different. And being in this organization, I can just be myself. I don't have to, try to act as if I am or am not something. So that's definitely my biggest reason of joining Delta Phi Upsilon. I'm myself.
Okay, come on. Why did we choose our organization in conjunction with or instead of a Divine Nine organization?
I mean,
Well, for me personally,
oh, go ahead.
it was. I'm sorry. Go
Nah,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, well, for me personally, it was actually a struggle to choose between the two. Um, Especially attending a historically black college and university and being engaging in the process of trying to join a divine eye organization. I too also realized, like the other brother said, that it's almost as if you're trying to step outside of your comfort zone to be something that you're not, to appease, others. And to be honest, that's not what we were put on this earth to do. We were put here to serve our communities regardless of who we are or what we have or the status that we share. The letters that we wear on our backs are just what they are, they're letters. But it doesn't change the fact of what we have in our hearts, nor change the fact of what we were called to do, which was to serve.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else?
Uh,
Come on, this is a conversation. A
yeah,
conversation.
I was gonna say, like, frankly, like, we all here. Divine Nine does not have a history of accepting LGBT folks.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a history of violence towards people that are out. There are long stories and multiple stories of people that are in Divine Nine that are forced to be in the closet, and they may
Mm-hmm.
have been out beforehand and didn't find out until the middle of the process. So I think a lot of people choose LGBT Greek organizations so that they can show up authentically as themselves. And when you can show up as yourself, you're no longer worried about, like the brother from New
Mm-hmm.
Phi Zeta said, performing in a way, and you can just serve. And that takes a big weight off of people. For me, Divine Nine hasn't caught up to the fact of having openly trans people in their organizations. And I come from a family of Divine Nine members.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was a huge pressure for me to join a Divine Nine organization. But it just wasn't possible with the way I presented because I refused to
Oh,
assimilate.
goodness.
So I think a lot of reasons why people look out and why this even exists is because people want to just serve, and they don't want to think about that extra layer of, oh, I want to bring my partner to this event. I don't know if my profile's going to look at me funny if I bring my partner, or if I do this, or if I'm at Pride with my letters on. Is somebody gonna see me and it be funny? Or if I post a picture on Facebook and I'm doing this at a Pride event with rainbows, is it gonna be a thing? And a lot of times we hear those stories of people of the LGBT community joining D9 organizations, and they still feel like they're missing something, or there's something that their brothers or their sisters don't know
Yeah.
about them because they don't feel safe to disclose that information.
And it's almost because a lot of people feel like they can't walk in their truth when they in Divine Nine. I have had the experience, have went down that road, and it's more of, like you said, the older heads, the ones who's not gonna get used to it, who's not ready for the change. You go in there, the young heads, our age group, they like, oh yeah, you cool, you fine. But when you go to the big conference, the old women looking at you like, sister, what's going on? Who is this on your shoulder? I got to treat my partner like a stranger because I got sister over there looking at, what's going on over there? Hold up. Did she just walk in here with a woman? Hold. So I feel you on that because I experienced it. So I know the whole tape back because that's why you have to feel good in your own skin. But then you don't want to have to always have to, what's the word I would want to say? You don't want to always have to kind of protect yourself, but also be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me just calm down for them. Why should I calm down for them? This is my life. This is what we do. This is our lifestyle. And we have the right to be out here. We have the right to love who we are. And even like now, it's already hard when we're trying to go to work and do everything else. So why we require as a sisterhood or a brotherhood that we still got to feel uptight or walk on eggshell because of who we love. So I feel you on that all the way. I feel it. It hit
You
core.
said a good word. You said protection, and I think one of the words that I got from that is that there's safety in LGBT Greek life and
Yeah.
organization.
Mm-hmm.
You're communing with folks that have similar experiences as you. So there's a level of safety and a level of, like, you don't have to explain certain stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell the story and you don't have to go into that deeper, like, well, they were being passive aggressive here because of XYZ. They're like, oh yeah, I've been through that.
Yeah.
That's real messed up. Here's how I handled it. You know what I mean? So there's a level of safety and comfort there where it's like, I'm with my like, I forget your name, but the woman from Beta Phi Omega said, I'm with my tribe, like, I'm with my people, and there's a level of safety and comfort with that where you feel protected by, your sorority or your fraternity.
But I would say this because we are live. I'm sorry. I would just want to put this out here. We love D9. I love D9. Like you, I come
Mm-hmm.
from a family from D9. So I love D9. But just as we have to fight for everything else, it's certain
Mm-hmm.
things that we choose not to fight. And I'm not going to choose to join organization where I have to fight to just prove who I am, or just have to answer questions why, if I can't be myself 24/7. I stopped pretending at the age of 15. So, if I can't live my truth, I we just choose a different route. So, I just want to put that out there because I want nobody to say, oh, they bash thee not. No, we don't bash thee not.
No.
You just choose where your route or your journey that fit for you. And I chose Kappa Alpha Lambda Sorority Incorporated. So that's how I live my life.
And I think it's important to, put that out there, because just because you are choosing to be a part of an LGBT Greek letter organization does not mean that you're opposed Divine Knot organizations. I do know that there are several members of Beta Phi Mega Sorority Incorporated that are also a part of Divine Knot organizations. So it does not minimize, who you are. But like you said, you want to be able to just be. You just want to be able to be. You want to be able to serve freely. You don't want to run into somebody in the LGBTQ community while you out there volunteering, trying to cover your face because you don't want them to, it's a lie. So I get it. I get it completely. So since we're talking about this, a lot of you mentioned that you're not a part of Divine Nine organizations. Did you attend college? If you did, what colleges did you go to?
I went to
I
Wilberforce
attended.
University in Ohio.
Okay, Wilberforce. My uncle went there. Come on.
Yes, go Bulldogs.
I attended Bowie State University in Bowie, Maryland.
Okay, come on, Bowie. Also the Bulldogs. Aren't they the Bulldogs?
Yeah.
I attended Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University in Tallahassee, Florida. I didn't chime in on the last question, but I had a long line of legacy at that specific school, actually, with a particular organization, and the only organization that I would have chosen because of that. However, when I was there, they were actually off the yard, which gave me the opportunity to do some research and choose a different path.
All right, FAMU in the house.
I graduated from the unsinkable Albany State University.
Okay.
ASU, all right, Albany, Georgia. That's my
Yes, indeed.
hometown. What's up?
Anyone else?
I graduated. I graduated from the Art Institute of Virginia Beach in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, bro.
I just received my bachelor's of science in digital forensics and computer investigation from Champlain University in Burlington, Vermont.
All right.
All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Bro, you're so smart.
And she's so nice. Oh, sorry. Jen is one of my favorite bros. I have to say that. I'm sorry. She is. She's one of my favorites. We have a long history. So a lot of us are not on college campuses. Do you all, or do you know if your organization is planning to become collegiate?
Alpha Omega Kappa does not have plans to become collegiate. We want to be accessible to trans men, and the reality of a lot of trans men don't necessarily go to college or have the support to matriculate through college successfully. So we want to remain accessible. We encourage people to go to college. We just had a young brother that just graduated from Fayetteville State University, but we don't have any plans to actually be on a college campus.
As for me and my organization, we shall serve the community. So we do not have plans to go collegiate for the same reasons. We want to make sure that we are accessible. College is not for everybody, just like beta ain't for everybody. But we do want to make sure that if you are an upstanding professional member of your community, whether or not you attended college or not, we will make a path for you if this is where you should be.
Okay. Anyone else?
Delta Phi Upsilon, it is in the works. So look out for it.
All right, come on. Anyone else? And if you don't know, it's okay. It's perfectly all right. But if you know, we like to know.
Omicron Psi Omega Incorporated also has no plans to be collegiate at this moment. We do accept it is a qualification to either be in school or to be working. So we try. We're just looking for good individuals.
Absolutely. So
Uh,
this
and I'm not
question,
sure necessarily if Nu Phi Zeta is planning on going collegiate or not. However, we currently are a non-collegiate organization, and I know that that is specifically because we are accepting of men of all walks of life, and our purpose is to help individuals realize their purpose and fullest potential, whether it's you have a college degree or whether you don't have a college degree, or whether you're just getting out of high school. It's the purpose of finding your own path. So
okay. Now this question isn't on the program, but it's just something I was thinking. So, what was your first interaction or your first experience, or the first time you saw your organization that you're currently a part of? Like, was it at a Pride event? Was it strictly online? Did you witness your organization volunteering? Like, tell me, when did you fall in love with your organization?
So I will say, way before I was of legal age to be in some places, I was sneaking in some places because I got those older cousins that was already in school that used to get me into the parties. And I remember the first time I saw Beta Phi Omega as well as Omicron was at a probate um, back in the day, and I saw some bras being walked in on some dog chains by some beautiful women, and I was hooked. Then I just had to get of age so I could make that leap, but I was impressed from the start.
I was I was at Atlanta Pride, and my lovely sisters who were winning the stepping competition at that time. My brothers were also there, and they were stepping, and I saw them come across the stage in that those colors, and I was like, wow, they look like me, and they do community service, and I was like, right then and there, it's like I knew that's what I wanted to. That's where I wanted to be.
That's good. They look like me. That's good. That was good. That was real good. Anyone else? Did you have that moment? Like for me, I know I'm moderating, but I my a friend of mine is who introduced me to the organization, and they were interested. And of course, I'm that friend of like, oh, you want to do it? Sure, I'll do it. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. However, I did it. But I remember looking on the Rainbow Greek Network. I'm telling my age, and seeing just the you were able to have a profile. And I was looking at all the profiles of these individuals, and they were just really beautiful, and not just beautiful, but they were smart, and they had poise and they had elegance. And everybody else had booty pictures and everything. Not those ladies, absolutely not. And that stood out to me, because I'm not a booty picture person at all. So that was I was like, oh, okay, that's what they're about. And then after that, I was hooked. I was hooked. But anybody else? Let's talk about it. When was
well,
that
I
moment you
know
felt
for
like,
me specifically, I was doing my research in college at the time on which organization I wanted to join. And specifically at the time, it was a D9 organization. Uh, and I was in a pageant for Alpha Kappa Alpha at the time, trying to win a scholarship. And while I was doing my research for my speech for the pageant, I came across Nu Phi Zeta, and I seen a promotional video, and it was kind of corny. The promotional video was kind of corny. I'm not even gonna lie. And it had this John Legend song playing in the background. But inside the video, I saw so many members of the organization. They were white, they were black, they were Asian, they were Latino, and it just made me feel like it was inclusiveness within this particular organization, and it
mm-hmm,
wasn't just specifically about one particular group of people. It was about everybody. And that's what made me fall in love with the organization as a whole, because we all in the world cannot get anywhere if we don't depend on one another.
mm-hmm,
And to me, that's what Nu Phi Zeta was promoting, and that's what stood out to me the most was brotherhood and the unity that the organization had.
absolutely, absolutely. So let's jump back on the Divine Nine organization. I mean the Divine Nine organization. How do you handle any negativity you receive from those in Divine Nine organization? And have you experienced any negativity from a Divine Nine organization? Please don't list the organization. We just want to hear about the experience.
I haven't personally experienced any negativity from Divine Now organizations. I think my experience is a little different just from a standpoint of, like I said earlier, Divine Now organizations don't let trans people in anyway. So every time it's something, it's like we exist the same reason why you exist, because
Mm-hmm.
the white fraternities weren't letting y'all in, so y'all made your own. Y'all don't let trans people in, so we made our own.
Absolutely.
So it's never been negative. I've actually gotten a lot of like people want to learn my privilege in the fact that I can wear my letters and I'm not outed as a trans person. And I assimilate a lot to society. Even in trans spaces, I have to out myself as a trans person. When that conversation happens, it's very it's more of they have questions and they feel comfortable to ask those questions about the organization, about the trans community and things like that. And they want to learn and they want to partner more than anything. But like you said, it's all on the age range of who you interact with. But it's been an overall positive experience for me.
I would
Yes.
have to say that I have never experienced any negativity. If anything, stares. When I wore my letters, along college campuses, I would have to say the biggest stares was the probate that we did at Coppin State University. I guess it was because one, a gay organization probating on a college campus, and we're actually probating like a Divine Nine. So I guess they kind of thought, okay, well, they can do it too. Yeah, okay. So I guess that was the biggest, if anything. But other than that, I wouldn't say I got any negativity in the last 11 years.
I wouldn't say that I received any negative feedback or negative criticisms from any D9 organizations. If anything, I personally feel like um, without a couple of those organizations, I wouldn't even be at the point where I am today as far as my degree and earning a lot of the scholarships that I did from those organizations. The only thing that I can say as far as my experience with experiencing them is that I personally didn't feel like they saw me as a black man of character or a black man of substance or even a black man with an education. I feel like I was more just looked at as just a gay black man and not beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, anyone else before I go to the next question? No? Okay, awesome. So being a part of this LGBTQ plus Greek letter organization, what has that experience or what has this experience taught you?
I'll be honest, the experience really teach me to really just be who I am. It's kind of, some people say pin a target on your head. I'm sorry, pin a target on your forehead or whatever. Because when you wear your leathers, most people they stare. They try to figure out. They either trying to hit Google, try to figure out what it is because you have so many different organizations out here. So people trying to figure out what are you. But when they realize it that it's a lesbian organization, they like, oh, she lesbian? Like, oh, especially like co-workers and everything. Then it helps that we also lend the people that coming after us know it's a safe haven. It's people out here that they could join, they could be a part of other organization, they could, be their truth. Because I run into a lot of young girls. Be like, oh my gosh, I did not know it's lesbian organization. Oh my God, I didn't, and then I was like, hey, do your research. I don't mind promoting any other organization and everything because everybody have to fit where their journey is and have to fit where they want to be out. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't tell everybody. I'll be honest with you. I won't tell anybody just come to Kappa because I know Kappa. We talk about behind the scenes. You know what every organization have to offer and what they go through, and some people won't be able to be that strong. You have the strong will survive. So you can meet somebody and say, "Oh yeah, no, she ain't gonna be strong enough to stay over here at Kappa because we know how sisterhood goes sometimes." So I this really have just taught me how to just be my truth. Just be proud to wake up every day and wear my legs. Be proud to just educate others that's behind me and show that D9 is there, but you have other options. And this is that's what I love about it. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
grateful that y'all started this for the college because there's a lot of girls out there and guys that would love to be a part of organizations.
I think not negating the extreme losses we've experienced from the pandemic, like, and there have been many, but the one thing that this pandemic has done, it's taken the limits off of things, and that's something that the LGBT Greek Tour has also done. It says that we can be virtual and still advertise, and I think that that's a great thing that I've learned from participating in the Greek Tour. Like, we can reach people right from the comfort of our own living rooms this year.
Yeah, and I like the idea that a lot of times, like right now, this is live right now, but you can always go back to view this. So, if you missed the original, you can always replay it. So it can always be seen and viewed over and over and over again. And that's what I really appreciate about this virtual, atmosphere. I wasn't a big fan in the beginning, but I am a fan now. So, absolutely. Anyone else? What has your this experience? I'm being a part of this organization. What is it? What has it taught you? What has it brought you? Has it enhanced? Is it still the same? Like let's dive into that.
Yeah, I think similar to what the young lady before me said, it really allowed me to like live in my truth. At the time when I crossed, like I said, that was back in 2005. There wasn't a lot of visibility for masculine and centered women, or dominant lesbians, however you identify.
Mhm.
There wasn't a lot of positive visibility either, and I think it gave us an opportunity to change that narrative, to also see what was possible in our lives, and also set an example for people coming behind us. At the time, I think that when I crossed, there was only one other LGBT fraternity for masculine women, and now there are many. And so I think like during that time, we were really able to um, hone in on the fact that people needed community, and that people need to see themselves reflected in a positive way. And I think we had a lot to, Alpha Psi Kappa during that time had a lot to do with putting out a lot of those positive images. That went on to inspire many. So I definitely think like living in your truth, being proud in your identity. I think also for me, like um, a lot of my close friendships now are people that I've met through the org. And I had like close friends before. I've met other people since, but um, a lot of those people are like some of the closest folks to me. Um, and it's because like, we have the same values, we have the same mindset. Um, and we've supported each other. We've built community with one another. I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Um, I think for me, I largely I am still who I've always been. I'm not going to do too much changing because I don't want to make it weird, but I'm still who I always been. But one thing that I can say that I got from the organization that has certainly helped me to continue to blossom is the diversity. So like in my personal life, my friends that I have outside of the organization, I tend to assimilate with people that I am alike. Like the people that I have the most similarities with, the most commonalities, the common ground, whether it's gardening or crafting, etc. Within the organization, though, I am forced to interact with people that I might not have naturally gravitated to.
Mhm.
So there's a forced level of diversity, and I don't mean forced in the sense of it being negative. It's actually really positive, and I'm really grateful for it, in fact, because it gives me the opportunity to figure out how to work with people who don't think like me, who don't operate the way that I do, who have a totally different, life path and who have come from different places, different areas, even, regionally. And so all of those things kind of play into who we are, right? How we grew up, what we were exposed to, what part of the world we grew up in, all of those things make us all different. So instead of this little curated group of friends that I have from Florida, I now have friends and sisters all over the map, all over the globe, really. And they all bring something different to the table. And I get to learn from them and really sort of appreciate, what they bring to the table and what they have taught me and what they've exposed to me. Hi, Mallory. Like Mallory, I would have never met Mallory. She is an amazing person. I really enjoy, talking to her and spending time with her. She's really infectious. So I can just appreciate those kinds of connectivities that came from being a part of the organization. And it helped me in my professional life. So now at work, if I have to deal with someone who doesn't think like I do or doesn't operate the way that I operate, I have experience to pull from, like, okay, well, I've been online and having to sync up with some people. So I know how to sync up with you, how to be a team player and how to get along with you. And I can definitely attribute that to being a part of Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated.
Absolutely. That's good. That was good. Not just because you're my soror, but it's really good.
Oh, that was good.
One thing that I definitely feel like I have learned from Nu Phi Zeta Fraternity Incorporated that sticks with me is I have learned to truly embody the principles on which we stand upon of purpose, respect, integrity, dedication, and education, because those are important things in which we need in order to be successful. I've learned a newfound respect for individuals that I work with just by learning respect for the brothers in my brotherhood. Uh, Having integrity is one of the biggest things in this world that we can have, and operating in the truth at all times. Being dedicated to our organization and serving others, and as well as educating our communities on how we can continue to serve and educating our communities on LGBT rights and things of that nature. And I just feel like being a part of that organization has given me the opportunity to display the aspects in a positive way, and I'm just in love with it for that.
Absolutely. So someone posted a question in the comments. Where can we find more information about your organization?
Do your Googles. Do your Googles, girl. Do your Googles. But you can find us everywhere because that's where Beta be at. We are all over Facebook. We are on Instagram. We probably still have a Twitter. Maybe, a down link if you could get in there. Black Planet, Christian Mingle, Rainbow Greek Network. We everywhere. So all you have to do is put in Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated and we will be in the place.
Absolutely. Come on, Christian Mingle.
Mingle, she said, look, I thought you were going
Black Planet.
I was waiting for MySpace. Listen, I was waiting. I was like, no MySpace? Okay. Down link.
Christian. Oh, yes.
You can find Alpha Omega Kappa Fraternity Incorporated. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, as well as alphaomegakappa.org. That you will find everything, all contacts, all of that will be there, alphaomegakappa.org.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're also on
you can
Facebook.
Find out more.
Go ahead.
Facebook, Instagram, Alpha Psi Kappa .org. We're out there, so Google it. It'll definitely pop up.
You can find Omicron Psi Omega where the betas be at, because we are always with our sisters. Okay. But we are also at www.omicronpsiomega.org, where you can find out more information and fill out a form of interest, and get more information about what we're doing.
Okay. Come on, Delta Phi Upsilon.
You can find out more about the first fraternity for gay men at www.dphiu.org.
Okay, Nu Phi Zeta.
And you can also find out more about Nu Phi Zeta Fraternity Incorporated at nuphizeta.org.
And last but certainly not least.
So you can find out about us Kappa ladies at KappaAlphaLambdaSorority.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter. And if you get to know one of us, you might see us in leadership roles. So, hey, we everywhere too. We just traveling this whole world.
Yes, we're even on the YouTube. So if you're on the
YouTube.
YouTube,
Oh, y'all
we're on
got
the
us beat
YouTube.
on
The
YouTube.
YouTube. The
Yes,
YouTube.
come on, we're on the YouTube. That's right.
Well,
That's
I'm gonna
right.
be honest with you. Spring 17 Kappa completion. My line. We on YouTube because we showed out in Pride 2017. We came in strong. So I just want to shout that out. I just, I want to be on YouTube too, Beta. I want to feel some of that good love. Look, this is how we share some love. See, I'm
This
a funny Kappa. I want to be
listen,
on
it's
there
all
too
about
because
unity.
I made YouTube 2017.
It's all about Greek unity. Absolutely. Kappa Alpha Lambda is on the YouTube as well, people. Check them out on YouTube.
I've just gotten word that we are also on Mars and the Moon, so please look for us
Oh,
there.
Come on, did it just came in
are we
too?
going
Right?
to Pluto?
Also Venus.
Come on, Greek
Oh,
Um,
Jews.
we're not on
yeah.
Uranus.
Oh, oh, that fire burning, that fire burning. Oh,
I love it. So
listen.
we're getting close to our we're getting close to the end of this conversation. But before we get there, I definitely want to ask this question because I know a lot of people want to know. How often do you host lines
Seems like since COVID, it's been a long time.
or have intake? Is there a schedule or talk to us a little bit about
I
I
know for Nu
oh
Phi Zeta fraternity, we usually bring in a new set of neos twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. However, we are also a regional organization, so we are split off into several different regions. So each region will have their own particular intake process for the fall as well as the spring. And this year will actually be the first year in history that we will have our first summer line at this year's conclave.
that? All
Oh,
right.
congratulations.
All right. Come on, Miss Isaiah.
So I
Um,
know in Captainland, we try to have a spring and summer and fall line. But like I said, COVID kind of knocked us, but we did have a line before COVID. But
okay.
as the same token right now, it's a lot of readjusting because of COVID. And
Mhm.
everything is changing up, but sisterhood is still the same. But we did take a lot of losses. And so basically right now in our sisterhood, we are working to emotionally and be strong before we bring any new Kappa ladies in because the foundation have to be strong. So we will be coming out very shortly. I'm
Okay.
trying to get to Venus and Mars with the betas.
I'll take that as my intro. Thank you. So as far as our organization goes, we really pride ourselves on focusing on the quality of an applicant and not necessarily the quantity of the applicant pool. So we have lines when we need to. We do processes when we need to do a process. It can be 4 times a year. It can be 0 times a year. It's going to just depend on what that applicant pool is looking like and who's actually ready to, put in the work. So it really just varies.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And that was
Quality
me,
over
Jada.
Delta Phi
quantity.
Upsilon,
I
Is it
that's
rehearsed
quality
that.
over
exactly the
quantity? You
same.
saying, Miss Lady? Quality over quantity. I love it.
Quality
Absolutely.
over quantity.
You better say
Yes.
that. I'm looking forward to seeing this next beta train.
It might be
It be
real long,
choo
so get
chooing.
ready. It's gonna be mighty long, so be ready. Be ready. Um,
Alpha, Alpha Omega Kappa Fraternity Incorporated. Similar vein to Beta, we are not about the numbers. So if the applicant pool is not looking how we want it to, we will hold off until it is. We did just cross the line this past spring in the middle of the pandemic.
come
It was the
on,
first time
Congratulations.
we crossed an entire line virtually, did a whole virtual process to keep everybody safe.
come on.
Um, but we don't have any plans right now. We are not actively recruiting. Um, Feel free to submit an interest application when we are actively recruiting. We will reach out to you with next steps. But we are definitely about if you're ready to work. Um, we know this as member of organizations. We have a lot of people that want to wear the letters. They don't want to do the work. So you can do the work. AQK is for you.
Absolutely. Come on, you better let they gonna y'all can simmer until y'all ready. That's what you can simmer. Come on here. I love it.
Listen, the roast is on the roast that's cooked fast. I don't want that. I want the
Mm,
slow roast that
you in
falls
that
off the
crock
bone.
pot.
He wanted tender.
Listen,
Yes.
listen, King's a tender, all right?
We
Come
don't
on,
want nothing microwave.
come on here.
Don't use no microwave.
You can't microwave a king. You can't microwave a king.
Come
You
on.
just
I'm a
take a whole
con
lot more than 30 seconds.
I'm a con Psi Omega. How often do you all host the line?
So much like previous individuals have said before us, where our process is more about the quality over the quantity. So our intakes are not directed by a season of the year. We're more of a, if a worthy individual is ready, we deem ready to bring into our family, because our family is important, our family is first, then we're ready to bring you in. And so that's what we're directed by.
Come on. So you gotta be ready.
You don't want everybody. You don't want everybody in your family. You know, you don't want
Mm-mm.
people just mucking up your water and stuff like that.
Mm, at all, especially when you can choose them, because some
Mm.
some our family we can't choose. That's a whole
Absolutely.
other conversation for another day.
Absolutely. And some branches you just want cut off, but these,
So as we close out, I'm asking that each organization gives one final plug, and not just one final plug, but just something motivational you can leave to anyone who's watching. So we'll start with
I'll
because
start.
we'll start with Cameron up top.
Um, I'll say walk in your truth and be who you are and be yourself unapologetically. I think often too many times people in the LGBT community apologize for how they show up in different spaces and at work, at home with families. So always remember, if you unlock your own power and show up unapologetically as yourself, people have no right, no choice but to respect that. So step in your power, own that.
Absolutely. Let's go with Dr. Salon.
I would say definitely do your research. I know of a lot of people that have joined organizations for all of the wrong reasons, and then no longer are part of them or going to work for the organization. Just because there are gay organizations out there does not mean that, they're gay. That's the organization for me. That's definitely not the case. So definitely do your research before sending an application or sending your interest to that organization.
Absolutely. Let's go with Alpha Psi Kappa.
I would just say that I agree with do your research. I think Kappa isn't for everyone. Um, everybody has a place or has an org. I think some orgs like to party, some orgs like to work. So I think it's important for you to like really figure out what it is that you want to how do you want to show up? What do you want to bring to the space? What's your focus? And if you if you want to work and you want to build, then I think Kappa is a great could be a great place for you. So, but definitely do your research.
Absolutely. The ladies of Kappa Alpha Lambda.
So I would say, one, stay focused. Stay focused on what you are trying to accomplish. Don't believe the hype, because we can all show you different side of us, and but you need to stay focused to the mission, to what you are trying to accomplish, not what we are trying to accomplish, but what you are trying to accomplish. Because sometimes you would join an organization just on the parties and what you see, but it really don't go into alignment into your life. Always stay in alignment in your life and stay focused.
Absolutely. Shout out to one of our founders. She just commented on our live. Hey, Andrea. That's one of our awesome founders, also Nicole Lanier. So we are grateful. Thank you so much. New Phi Zeta.
What I would say to anybody that's out there watching, uh, sometimes the brightest diamonds are hid amongst the bed of nails. So always remember that you have a purpose. Always remember that you have value. And always remember that you matter and you are enough. And here in Nu Phi Zeta, we love to tell people that you are enough. So always remember that.
That was so beautiful, and I definitely feel like it was needed. Uh,
Yes.
and, bro, did you go? I don't think
No,
you went. All right, thank you.
trying to sneak under the radar. Um, I would say an important thing to do is to define yourself. Like, make sure that you know exactly who you are, so that like when you do your research, you can kind of match yourself up to the organization and make sure it's a fit for you. So,
Mhm.
like, if you don't know what you are, then you can't, like, you can't find the perfect organization. So find yourself first.
I
Absolutely,
love that.
that was good. And of course, the finest, the most illustrious.
Again, just first and foremost, happy Founders Week. Happy 3 days before Founding Day to all of our founders as well as our sorors that are with us here near and far. I'm really excited to make this milestone with you guys. Looking forward to all of the events that we have planned as we round out the week, culminating with our virtual ball. So see y'all in there. Um, I think my final word, all jokes aside, when I say beta isn't for everybody, you know, every organization has a tenet that they were founded upon,
Mhm.
a specific problem that they saw, a specific need within our community that they saw fit to address. And so I think it's important and very important that you align yourself with yourself first and foremost. You can't know what you're looking for until you know what you yourself are made of. And so I think it's important to find yourself so that you can find your tribe, and you'll recognize your tribe by how they treat you. Um, and one thing about all of our organizations that I know where I see everybody show up at is in community service, because that's really important to all of us. Service is the rent you pay for the space you take up on this earth. So I think
Hmm.
that it's not about going to an organization and asking what that organization can give you. It's about going to that organization and knowing that you can contribute something to that organization. That's how we grow. That's how we build. That's how we hit 21 years. So good luck to all of the interested parties, and I wish you well on your journey to finding your organizational home.
Well, I thank each and every one of you all for joining me tonight. Each one of these organizations have been a part of our LGBTQ plus college tour. We had an actual tour in April where for 4 weeks we had Zoom, of course, to be safe, and we had Zoom conversations similar to this. And each organization here was represented. In actuality, we will be doing another LGBTQ plus college tour in the fall. So you'll be able to catch this conversation again coming up in the near future. So please make sure you like the LGBTQ plus college tour page so that we can make sure we keep you updated on all the events, all the tours, and it's a possibility the tour may be coming to a city near you. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. And again, happy Founders Day to the wonderful ladies of Beta Phi Mega Sorority Incorporated. I love you all dearly. I hope each and every one of you have a great evening and have a great rest of your week.
Bye, everybody. Nice meeting everybody.